You know what will be good, Mrs. Wigley, is that maybe next year, when we are celebrating the month of older persons, that we can have probably a pamphlet, a brochure, or something with some of those sayings of these older persons, almost like proverbs. You know, the older persons have a lot of wisdom. I used to hear my mother say, when sometimes, you know, we are saying, oh, look at you, look at so and so. You know, she used to say, Hog had asked his mother, make him out so long. And the mother said, wait your time. You know what that means? Mm-hmm. Tell us what it means.
It means that today for you and tomorrow will be somebody else and your turn is going to come. So what your take on that, I don't know.
But it also means that over time, over the years, you're young now.
But you're going to get old.
At one time,
you could have
at some point, you will come to understand why things are
the
way that they are.
Yeah.
Because experience teaches us.
Is the greatest teacher too.
And it is the greatest teacher.
Now there are some years ago, Mr. Pension, Crichton Pension of Cairn, he worked with the Golden Years Club also, and we did a book of sayings.
Yes.
And we had it on sale for a cheap price. I will have to check him. But this book, a lot of children should really have it and read it and go, and they would see, just like how you said that. And he said, what? Fowl was asleep a goose, not hard to catch.
Right.
And again, that means you do everything. And but when night come, you have to come home to sleep.
Right.
And you spit up in the air, it come right back in your face. Again, that means do good. Because if you do bad, it will come back to you.
Right.
If you're going to dig a hole, dig two. Don't dig one. Just in case of anything happens, you're going to go back in the same hole that you dig for me. You know, so there's a lot of things, and I think I'm going to check, Mr. to see. I have a copy that we had, but it is good that these children, those things, you can't get it in your university.
Right.
These are things that our children should know and practice because they are sound advice.
And those are the gems.
Those are the gems. Those are the gems. Yes, those are the gems. And as I said, who have cocoa out thing, look for rain.
Yes.
All those things, they have meanings and real good.
And people don't look for black sheep at night.
At night, no. Yes, and they are real thing, and we have to let our children know that these older folks did not go to any university of Oxford or whatnot, but they had wisdom.
Their experience
taught them, and they had real. Yes, we have to give them credit.
And every day bucket will go well.
One day bottom going to drop out.
One day the bottom will drop out.
So, and that have meanings. And when you see a pig running round all the time, rain coming. And
I never heard that one.
Yes,
I must
when
confess.
You see it, running around, pig running around, look, rain is going to come. Mm-hmm. Yes. And we have to respect these persons, as I said, and don't look at them at scorn and just, you're old man, because one day you might not, as I said again, reach that age. I would like to big up a lot of our persons out there who also always look out for the seniors. They're also there for the seniors. We have Island Purify Water. Always help us with anything. You have ashberries. No matter what we have, they will try and give us something. You have Hosfords, who last year, I cannot again forget them, who gave us between Saints and Nevis over $20,000 towards our elderly month. which went a good way in the bucket. It dropped right down. We have pizza place on 4th Street. Domino, yes, the Domino's. We have
Domino's Pizza.
We have Kentucky. We have the City Shoe Store. And a number of persons. We have Sun Island Clothes, who always there for us. And I would like to big up the busmen from education, the education department, who always, through sun, rain, thick and thin, they are there with our seniors. They have patience. They come for us and wait for us. I would like to thank them so much for what they continue doing over the years, from since 2000 when we started to now. They've been there, and all other business. We have the Scenic Railway, who always patronize us. We went on the Scenic Railway when we used to go all through the island.
Sure.
We went. And other persons who do TDC right now. TDC is partnering with us to help some of our seniors, and the Rotary Club. Every year the Rotary Club have a big luncheon for the persons in the Saddlers Tabernacle, Jep Bay area, every year from 2003 to now, without a doubt. So they are our, I usually say I'm the husband and they're the wife. So we work hand in hand, and they give us gifts. Even without the lunch, they donate things to our home. So I'm thanking all of our good people out there who look out for our seniors, and I'm asking other persons to come on board. All the banks, when I send out letters to ask them for any help, all they usually do. Thanks again for your contribution over the years, and I look forward for you this year to continue doing what you do best with our seniors.
Now, Mrs. Wigley, you touched on something extremely important earlier, which I am going to, and that is the mentally challenged people within our society. Oftentimes, they are the butt of jokes. We laugh after them, we shove them aside, and so on. And sometimes these mentally challenged persons are older persons.
Yeah, most of them.
And then sometimes basically, what can we do to get these people into facilities? Or can you speak about facilities for older persons that we have in which we can take care of such older persons?
To be honest, we don't have much of that. We have the place at the hospital. Now we are supposed to be the ministry, soon to be open a daycare for mental challenged persons down at Limekeel. Should soon be open, which is a lovely place, and they can go in, walk in, they'll get their medication, etc. And nothing much really for those kind of persons. That's why we are asking persons to be nice to them, because we don't have much of that facilities for them. And again, they like to be up and down. They like to be in and out. They don't like to be one place, so it's very difficult to keep them pinned down.
I know.
But if you notice, we have Jeff. You notice how Jeff is at the carding home.
I haven't seen him in a while. That's where he is.
Yes, he's at the carding home. Give me $1.
Okay.
Yes, and he is looking quite well.
Okay.
Yes, he's nice. And other persons, so the carding home, they are full to capacity. They are doing a good job. So again, we are asking persons to continue to help us, not just push them off on us, but help us. Social Security also do a great job in helping us with the seniors and making sure that the non-contributory benefit that persons who did not, they get.
Sure.
Yes, they make sure that once we put in the, so they work well with us, Social Security.
I know there's a private old age facility at the Grange in Otley's Lodge area.
The Grange is right. That is a private, but it's well established. It's very good, and persons go there even if for daycare, like during the day. If you just want
so they
to
have
be
that
there,
facility.
Yeah, you have from 7 to 8. You have your persons can go there. I think for during the day. So it's a very well established place. and a lot of persons, are there.
Sure. Now, psychologists, for example, like Erik Erikson, the German psychologist, speaks to us about various stages of development that human beings go through, from the time they are born till the time that they die. Sigmund Freud spoke about, and he is the Czech Republic, he was born in the Czech Republic, speaks to us about other stages of development which were psychosexual. Everything was focused on the libido, pleasure and pain and all of that. We will not focus on that. But Erik Erikson, in his psychosocial stages, there are 8 of them. And basically he said that the first one, when we are children, is that of basic trust versus mistrust. Mm-hmm. And that basic trust basically comes from the child being attached to the mother. The child learns to trust. And he goes through several other stages. And he says that in order to successfully move on to another stage, we must have completed the stages as we go. Now, the last stage he spoke about is really for mature people. People basically who are 65 years and older. Somewhere in the bracket, we said 60 plus. He was speaking about these people who have become senior citizens. We tend to slow down our productivity. That is true. We are not as young as we used to be.
Not enough.
And sometimes we can't do the things that we used to do.
Most of the time, not
most of the times. Age, physical constraints, and so on, slow us down. And we explore life as a retired person. And during that time is where we start to contemplate a lot of things. Our accomplishments. Have we developed integrity? And if we see ourselves as leading a successful life, or have our lives been unsuccessful? We have not accomplished much, and so on. So while we speak about the gems and a lot that our older persons have to share with us, the reality is that some persons, when they reach that 60 plus and counting, it is a time of crisis. Old age crisis. And people go through many crises. People go through crisis when they're teenagers.
Different stages.
People go through midlife crisis, and so on. What have I really done with my life? I have wasted my life. I've had children here and there and everywhere, but I have not looked after them. Those things come back to haunt me. The question now becomes, will they look after me in my old age? Who will be there for me? And those feelings of loneliness, feelings of depression, hopelessness, are real issues that affect our older persons. Have you come across much of that?
A lot, especially men. Yeah, especially mostly in the men. As you said, for example, even in, if you check the homes, not just here, but I in Canada, England, and so. And when you go into the homes, most men are in the homes, not women. You have more men than women. Sometimes it balances out because the children would say, he didn't care for me, he didn't look after me, so why should I look after him now? Just push him there, like they push him in outside. Well, the mother, they would more think because the mother was there and they look. So it is a way that we have to look at it and see, and as you said, you spit up in the air, it come back in your face.
Okay.
That is one.
Sure.
So you
Things
have
come back to haunt you.
Yes, you have to do good because, again, when you go up, you have to come down. And then, so don't cross the bridge, don't cross the bridge you cross.
Right.
Because when you have to come back and meet that bridge, so what is going to happen? And this is what happened to most of us, our seniors. You have to do good in order for you to reap good. Sometimes you do good and you think that it just happens, but most of the time.
Yeah, but that is one aspect of it. But each person has goals in life.
Yeah, each one is supposed to have a goal in life.
Are supposed to have a goal in life. Sometimes we may drift aimlessly without goals. And at the end of the day, when it is basically we are older,
when we get older, then
we feel that we did not accomplish our life goals. And so we become dissatisfied with life.
And other persons around you, you're very
and other persons around us. And then you wonder, sometimes the old saying come, oh, they're a grumpy person and things like that. People are depressed and hopeless. And I think that it is something that, for those of us who look after older persons, involved in social development, must be cognizant of
that, yeah, and how to deal with it.
And how to deal with it.
You have to know, because it's reality. And it is there, and it is a thing, but sometimes you don't want to speak about it because it's a sensitive, very sensitive area, and you don't want to go there and say, oh, that and that. But it happens. And then you have to know, you have to sometimes go down and ask God to give you faith and strength and wisdom to understand these things and go, because it is real.
And then you know what happens, Mrs. Wigley? Sometimes we have to think too in terms of substance abuse and alcohol abuse. Because when people are lonely, when people are depressed, when people are dissatisfied with their lives, when they're young,
they wasted it.
Yes, but young people too sometimes can have that feeling.
Oh yes.
And they turn to alcohol, and they turn to drugs, and they turn to so many other things. Much less more our old people, our older persons, who somehow have to be monitored. And that is where I think the care must come in. The love must come in. The acceptance must come in. And all of that, because that is a stage of development.
I would like to...
Where people can either find, as Eric Erickson said, ego, integrity versus despair. It's either hope or despair. You feel hopeful or you feel lost.
As you rightly said, I would like to say and encourage our persons out there, especially persons with Alzheimer's. It's a very difficult, very, very difficult thing. And you, the caregiver, or the family who are looking after, sometimes want to throw your hands up in the air and so on. But we have to really understand it and learn about it, because they have a good day and they have a bad day. Today they are quite good and they know everything, and then tomorrow is something else. And then you think, oh, she playing smart. Yesterday so and so, and no, it is not that. And then they also remember from a baby. They remember what happened when there was a child. But the things happen now,
Yes.
they don't remember because the brain. So we have to give and take. Don't think that they are fooling you or they're playing smart. It is just a stage. And now we are seeing it more. Long time, I don't know if it was there, we didn't know it was that. But we are seeing that so much now that Alzheimer's has taken over a lot, even younger persons. And it is a problem with us. We have to go there. They say you steal the stuff. You take up the things. You go into their home and try to help them. You thief the this. You take up that when it isn't true. So again, now I would like to plug in here that our home care officers who are out there in the field, day after day, week, months, years, working tirelessly. It is a thankless job. They don't get enough credit for what they are doing. It is not an easy job. They're out there walking in the hot sun, going from homes to homes, doing this. They have to go, they have to do baths, they have to do other things. Whatsoever they find when they go, they have to help these people. And I'm really, really thanking them for the work they've been doing for the last, from 2000 when we started. We have workers.
16 years.
Yes. And they are genuine workers. They love what they're doing. They go out there and they look after. They even go shopping. They go pay their bills. They pick up medication. When their own family won't do it, they bathe them, they comb their hair. They do everything that's possible. And I'm saying we have to give them credit because it is not easy. It's not easy out there looking after those seniors. Sometimes they give them back chat, as we call it, words. We have to bear with it because it's part of our job. But it is not easy. So thanks to all the home care officers who out there throughout the entire island. I wouldn't go into their names. They know who they are. The people know who they are. And let us give them encouragement and thank them for their years of service that they've been out there doing it. You cannot pay them.
Now, since 2000, you said that you
started 2000.
You had home care officers.
Yeah.
And knowing that looking after older persons can be a real challenge, what kind of training have these home officers received? I mean, we have spoken about a number of issues, for example, loneliness, Alzheimer's, you mentioned people losing their memory. Some persons who probably, are incapacitated in some way in terms of moving. Other people might, need help in other things to clean the house. Some persons may have issues with alcoholism and drug abuse and a lot of anger and guilt related to their previous life and their past and so on. What type of training